Mas ele falou que não vai precisar não. Ele vai explicar aí. Possivelmente vai pedir vocês abrirem uma plataforma que vai ensinar vocês.
O brilho da TV aqui, ó.
Não, é esse negócio aqui que tá pegando, né? E aí, melhorou?
O ideal seria que fosse aqui que eu pegasse ele.
Para abrir, não. To do this, I wouldn't do Robinhood.
Não, ele vai colocar daqui a pouquinho no canal dele, numa plataforma que você poder usar.
Ele vai ficar muito falando aqui, né? Dá uma olhada lá.
Sim.
Vai ficar lá, né?
Eu vou estar
Vai ficar aqui? Aqui desse lado?
dos dois lados.
Aqui
É.
em frente o reflexo tá pegando.
Põe lá, aqui atrás.
Mas daqui a pouco esse sol vai embora.
Aqui é mesmo.
6h30.
Ó, aqui atrás.
Eu acho que vai ficar um pouco longe. Vai dar pra...
Mas é o jeito, gente.
Fica aqui, não dá pra ver. Você é mais alto que você, né?
Não, eu sou...
Tem muita luz aqui, velho. So much light.
Muito. Glória a Deus. O melhor ser.
Tá ao vivo e vai ficar ao vivo aí agora. Não vou tirar mais não, senão vai dar... Deixa eu ver.
You got your laptop. Extend.
Tá
No.
perfeito. Tá bom, né? Tá, vamos botar agora assim que faço aqui.
Não.
É, boa, com certeza. Perfeito, perfeito. É, Franco.
Deu o microfone aí, ele aqui.
Cadê? E aí, Ariel?
Mas.
Tá contigo agora. A
Tá.
live já tá ok, todo mundo tá aqui. Cadê?
Elson. Vai abrir com oração? Quer fazer uma oração? Oração?
Vamos lá, pessoal.
Pensei que ele só queria saber de mim.
Olá, pessoal, tudo bem?
A Débora chegou também, chegou todo mundo junto.
Tá faltando mais
Eita
três
glória.
pessoas.
Hã?
Tá faltando mais 3 pessoas. Débora, o Val e a...
Débora e Val.
Não, e aquela outra mulher.
Não, não vem não. Eu mandei o link da gravação.
Ah, é?
Tá ao vivo, gente. Mais de 50 pessoas estão aqui, né? Tá ao vivo. Já tá pronto, velho. É só o Débora entrar e a gente começar.
Vamos lá. Ela chegou agora, hein?
Chegou agora. É isso mesmo, não está faltando mais ninguém não, ó.
Vamos lá.
If you're gonna be back here, you're gonna be my content caretaker. Yeah. Just kidding, bro. It's in 4K 60.
O PDF que você enviou, ele já é para abrir a conta aqui na corretora? Não, né?
Você não necessita. Eu te vou explicar aonde ir e é grátis. Você não tem que abrir uma conta.
Se já quiser abrir
É.
é tranquilo?
tranquilo.
Ó, o desafio
O Robin Hood
agora
não,
tá $10 mil e a gente
não
vai
é
fazer
boa
amigo.
o que eu te vou ensinar essa noite. Então, tranquilo.
Toma desculpa.
É, o Robin Hood.
Não, eu sei, mas a outra que é boa.
Ah,
Se você
sim.
abrir é rapidinho.
Eu vou.
Você vai ensinar?
Sim.
Vai tomar.
Tudo. Ah, boa tarde. Yeah, I got it at 60. What FPS? I don't know what the hell that means. Frames per second. Yeah. And then 4K. 4K resolution.
Tell you were arts. You doing arts?
Yes,
Oh,
I used to
good.
be an actor and all that good stuff.
Oh, very good. I saw you in the.
And I work with him doing a lot of putting together a lot of.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I saw you on Instagram. And thank you to follow me.
Yeah, I saw you. I was like, oh, we're gonna be friends.
I used to do art in Brazil.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I did a theater and I did a global art.
Vamos começar rapidinho.
Say no.
Boa tarde.
Boa tarde, meu novo amigo.
Como estás? Muito bem. Glória a Deus. Vamos lá. Laptops? You got one? Take it out. You gonna put you want a chair or something to put it on? Yeah? You got it? You're welcome.
Deixa eu te falar.
Vamos.
No break.
Vamos lá. Amsterdã. Né? Vamos começar, Amsterdã.
Como aqui?
Tá vendendo esse churrasco?
É carne brasileira,
Tá macia que tá.
Não, a mais macia já foi, né?
A mais macia tu é quente, pô.
É, Marcelo, esse é o segredo?
Claro.
Olha aí.
Churrasqueiro conhece.
Você tá lá, pode sentar lá.
Vamos embora. Bora começar?
Vamos.
Pessoal, vamos fazer uma oração.
Pode só segurar.
Vamos fazer uma oração e vamos dar início aqui, tá bom? A nossa reunião. Pai, nós queremos te dar graças mais uma vez pela oportunidade que o Senhor nos concede de estarmos reunidos para tratarmos, Senhor Deus, de assuntos de finanças, negócios, mercado financeiro. Nós queremos te pedir a tua graça, o teu favor e a tua bondade, que o Senhor possa abrir a nossa mente, o nosso entendimento, para que possamos acolher toda a informação necessária para que a gente possa ser bem-sucedido naquilo que nós vamos fazer. Acreditamos que essa é uma oportunidade rica e oportuna que o Senhor nos concede. Queremos te agradecer pela vida do Ariel, que se disponibilizou de estar aqui para nos ensinar, para nos guiar e para ser, Senhor Deus, para aqueles que querem, Senhor Deus, um mentor para poder auxiliar o futuro financeiro deles. Pedimos, Senhor Deus, que o Senhor venha fazer essas conexões, abençoar as nossas vidas, que possamos todos que estão aqui, Senhor Deus, sermos ricamente abençoados por Ti. Sabemos que a Tua palavra diz que a bênção do Senhor não acrescenta dor. Nós sabemos que isso é bênção. Então nós queremos, Senhor Deus, te pedir que as Suas bênçãos continuem sendo derramadas sobre nós. É o que nós pedimos em nome do Senhor Jesus Cristo. Amém.
Amém.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. Today we're going to start with what I do in trading. It's different from regular buying, just plain out stocks themselves. What I do, I trade options. What are options? Options is basically buying 100 shares of a company at a discounted price. So let's say we have a company right now, just off the top of my head, we'll use Dell. Is everybody familiar with Dell? The laptops? Matt? Yep, Dell. Tienen dois aí. Los dois. Dell is at $400 right now. So let's say Dell, one stock equals one stock or 1 share. Live. Então, isso quer vir aqui. 1. Aqui mesmo. Equals. Que está agora? 396.05. Okay. So, with options, there's an expiration date. One option is a contract of that company, whatever the company is. So in this case, one contract equals 100 shares at a discounted rate. Oh, I forgot to put shares. Okay. So instead of buying one share at $396.05, I buy one contract and I actually get 100 shares for a discounted rate. It won't be 396. It just depends. When you trade options, since it's a contract, contracts have expiration dates. So you can there's various options of contracts of when they expire, how long you want to hold that contract for. It can be the same day, depending on what you trade. It can be, there's either the same day, for instance, if you trade options for SPY or QQQ, you can have same day expiration, right? But let's say you want to do NVIDIA or Tesla or Meta or another company. Those companies will either expire on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or just on Friday themselves. So you have different options of when the contract actually expires. So let's say we're taking a trade in Dell and we want to look at options for, how am I going to do this? Oh man, how do we get to? Do you happen to have Elson? Can you just open up Robinhood? Because I can't do it while the markets, and look up Dell. I'm trying to see what the contracts are right now on Dell. Perfecto. So go to,
We define how long will it take?
yeah. So there's the contracts, how they work. Since this is at 396, you can either buy a contract higher than 396 or lower than 396. And if you are betting that the price is going to go down by the expiration date, then it's technically buying puts. So you can either buy, for options, calls, which means the price goes up, or you can buy puts, which means the price goes down. Now, when you open up an account, you'll see that they have two options, calls or puts. Then it gives you various numbers as far as whether the price is going to go up or it's going to go down. Somebody at the door? No. Then it'll give you an expiration date, right? How long do you think it's going to take for that stock to either go up or down? So once we draw out our chart and figure out our price targets, the movement that the stock is going to do, then we figure out how long do we think it's going to take for it to get there. Now, last night I gave an example of how last week I traded Apple and it was within like 16 minutes that it went up 700%. Well, the only reason why I went that high so quickly is because I had options expiring that same day. So a lot more risk, because if the price goes down that same day, then they're very volatile, meaning they move quicker, the options, if it's expiring that same day. For instance, if you were to have options expiring a month from now, it wouldn't move as quickly as it would if it expired that same day or a week. Now, if it's that same day that you have the expiration, then the term is lottos. Which is either same day expiration or same week. Okay, so now let's look at the Dell chart. Which is a perfect chart. And this evening, I'm going to create a watch list in front of you guys so you guys can see exactly how I do it and what I look for. Switch this over. Okay. So on here, and if you want to follow on either your iPad or your laptop, I recommend using tradingview.com. Tradingview.com. It's better than Robinhood. Why? Because it actually gives you a better graph than what Robinhood does. You can create a free account or you can subscribe and get access to better charts and stuff like that. So TradingView. Here, I'll show you from when I first open it. So when you first open TradingView, right, it'll take you here. Your page looks similar. Se vê casi igual. O página. De vocês? Não. Yeah? É. Porque... Assim, né? Okay, so you don't have to create an account, or you can create a free trial for 30 days. So if you want to skip the free trial and just continue to use it for free, you can do that as well. So in order to look for a graph or a chart, whatever you want to do research on, you see this search button right here? You click into it. And then
Não, não tem.
Aqui.
Oh, okay. I remember looking.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be better to use your,
Okay.
yeah.
Would you want me to sell it?
So once you click the search button, you'll get a drop down of stocks, right? In that search button, you want to type in Dell, Dell, and then it'll populate right here. It'll give you all sorts of options, but you want to make sure you click on the one that has NYSE because all these are different platforms. You just want to make sure that you're on the New York Stock Exchange platform. Okay? So once you click that, you'll get the chart of Dell. So, for notes purposes,
Long chart, right? Over here or long?
o primeiro. Não.
Quem escreveu dela?
Você escreveu?
No,
Não, tá
I
aí.
found it out.
Não, você tem que
Não.
escrever. Vai no search aqui, ó. Escreve aqui dela.
Search aqui e você tem que.
Colocar dela.
É.
Okay. It's my first time using this.
Não, that's okay.
Second time, I think.
Então escreve
Aqui.
aqui dela com o seu pencil.
Then let me do it.
Coloca dela aí.
No,
Não,
doesn't work.
não pode.
Ok, so put your pencil back in there. Coloca o seu lápis, que ele vai dar o seu
Ah, first,
yeah.
exactly.
Você
Exato,
precisa
ele vai abrir o teclado.
teclado, isso. Coloca ele de volta.
Foi ou não?
Já.
There you go. Now click here again. O teclado tinha que aparecer agora.
Não tá?
Não.
Poxa, não dá pra parar por causa disso. Deixa que eu me viro.
No.
Right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Tá ali.
Quem
Show
viu?
keyboard.
Keyboard.
Aí coloca
Ok,
D-E-L-L.
I,
Yeah.
L, L.
Sorry.
Então, era onde eu tava. Launch
Sorry.
or see overview.
É.
Eu tava lá. Sim. É esse?
Esse mesmo.
Isso certo?
Okay, so you're welcome.
Certo?
Were you guys able to open it? Everybody was able to open it? Did you guys open it? Oh, yes. I'll get there. Were you able to open it? You good? You good? Amos, you good? Tudo bem. Okay, let's keep going. So when I look at charts, I focus on the time frame, right? What time frame do we look at? So different time frames that you can see at the top of that page is right here, up here. You see where it says D? That indicates 1 day, right? So when you click this down, then it'll give you options. Each of these options will indicate the time frame that you want per candlestick. So right now, every candlestick, one of these is 1 day. See how it's highlighted down here? And up here it had D, right? So that indicates 1 day, right here. Não entendi. Okay.
You want to do it?
I got it. Ok, agora você está vendo cada, não, cada, ok, pode clicar aqui, né? Cada vela agora é 1 minuto, né? Agora, se você quer ver 15 minutos cada vela, então, cada vela é 15 minutos, viu? E depois, um dia, para ver mais tempo, né? Cada ano, mês, agora é um dia, né? Cada vela é um dia, né? Você pode ver uma semana também.
Ah, good.
né? Te vou explicar qual é melhor. All right, so every time frame, the time frames that I look at are 1 minute, 15 minutes. Escreva aí. Uh, these are things that you want to write down, so then that way when you're looking at the charts, you remember which ones to look at. Hold on. I'm writing it right here. Here we go.
Não, 15 minutos.
Right here. 1 minuto, 15 minutos.
15 minutos, 1 hora.
1 hora não. 1 hora não. 15 minutos. Espera aí. 4 horas. Dia. E 1 semana. So these are the ones that you want to make sure you write down as far as time frames of what to look at when you're looking at charts. Okay? I'll go into more detail of why I look at these time frames when you guys are done. Oh. Yeah, just exit out and go back in. Yeah. No, será o Já.
Ok.
Não, essa aí. Essa aqui em cima.
Ah, é o de cima, pô. Adorei.
I fixing in 1 hour. And look, it's fixing in a 1 hour.
You can change it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here, I'll do this for you. You can put
Oh,
favorites.
Perfect one.
Oh, you have to do it when you sign up, but that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, I can do a favorite.
Yeah. How do I exit out of this? Is there an exit button? No.
Oh, we can do like escape
Yeah. Sorry. We'll just go back.
over here.
Double. I got you.
Let me see if I know. Here.
Mhm.
Then I got 1 hour. Then I got,
Se chama time frame.
what about the 15 minutes? Oh, it's in the beginning.
It's right here. It's
No.
it's
50.
minimize.
Okay, minimize. Okay, thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. Okay. So let's go into details why I use these time frames. Right? So the 1 minute time frame, I only use the 1 minute time frame when the market first opens. In the morning, when the market opens, I do 1 minute. Why? Because within the first 15 minutes of the market open, you'll see a lot of volatility and you'll get a better idea of what to look for. Whether the market is gonna go up or down, right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm expanding the chart, focusing in on the price action right in the morning, because that's where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna dictate where the market's gonna go in that morning, those first 15 minutes, because everybody over the weekend who is starting their work on Monday is gonna either buy or sell the stock, depending on what it does. Right? Every single day, somebody's going to sell a stock and somebody's going to buy it. The meat of the move is within the morning. So let me back up. The market itself, let's do this down here. Stock market itself, right, has hours, just as like we have hours to go into work every single day, right? The market opens at 5 a.m. which is pre-market, right? Then from 5 a.m. until 9:30 a.m., it's called pre-market. At 9:30 a.m., the market opens. That's when everybody, the regular, everybody has access to the market, right? That's when it starts moving very fast. People are selling overnight, depending on the news and so forth. Then, when I start looking or start paying attention the most is 9:45 a.m. That first 15 minutes, the market fluctuates so much. That first 15 minutes is where people are either buying a stock or selling it. And you'll be able to make a decision. It might take longer than that. It might not, but I like, me personally, to wait the first 15 minutes to see what people are doing, you know?
Then you do something after that.
Right. Usually never before, depending on the direction that it's going, you know? But that's part of one of my rules is wait, first 15 minutes. Okay? From 9:30 a.m. till about, I say roughly, people start going to lunch around 11. We'll put 11:30. Those first 2 hours, we'll have a lot of volume. Now, what is volume? Volume is the amount of shares traded per day. How many people are actually trading? Okay. There's stocks that have low volume, meaning there's not a lot of people trading it, or there's stocks that have high volume, which there's millions or even billions of people trading it, right? So if there's a stock that has high volume, then the price movement is going to be a lot quicker than one that doesn't have high volume. Okay? That high volume time frame is usually around 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. Then from 11:30, am I going too quick? No? Good? Okay. From 11:30 till about roughly 2 p.m., it's low volume. The price action won't be moving as much as quickly because just like anybody who's at work, they have to go eat lunch, right? So between this time, it's usually bots from big corporations that are trading and making their money. So before the market opens, they're doing it. Midday, they're doing it. And then from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., the volume comes back in because everybody's coming back from lunch. And I'll give an example. 4 p.m., the market closes. Okay, so let's look at an example. And I'm going to change this to 15 minutes. And we'll go to 1 day. Okay. All right. So down here at the bottom, you'll see these candles, right? These candles right here. Let's make a... oops. Okay. These candles right here. Right? These candles down here are volume. It tells you when people are buying or how many people are buying and selling. So if we look here, if we zoom in, começou o jogo assim mesmo. We zoom in here and just look at this was the 17th, so Friday? No. Friday was the 17th? Friday? Yeah. Okay. So the 17th, right? We see the day here. This is when the market opens, right? You see high volume. You see the bars. The bottom ones, not the ones on the top. Let me take this out of here. Now that we know what we're looking at. Okay. So I'm looking at the 15-minute chart. Okay, if you want to follow along. But see the difference in graph and bars, right? You see how when the 17 is here and these bars are pretty high and then it goes lower, and then towards the end of the day it gets higher. Well, these 5 bars is all the way up until, yeah. 17 is 2 o'clock. Yeah. So the highest volume of the day was these 4 bars right here. And that's until 2:15, 2 o'clock. But that's not right because this is when the market opens. So I think so let's do it from this way. I'm looking at 15 minutes, right? So the first 15 minutes, this is 9:45. This is 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. Still have high bars right here. 10:15, right?
If you check the two first red
Mm-hmm.
it's showing that. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one. Yeah.
This one?
Showing, yeah, 1945.
Yeah, but that's the day before.
But the market closed 4 p.m.
Yeah, every day.
Why showing 1945?
It just might be my the time frame that I have, as far as it's not Eastern time. It might be a different time, yeah. But I'm not paying it because I have 3 different sites open at the same time. So for this one, this trading view is actually quicker than one of the platforms that I use, Thinkorswim. I've noticed it. It's off by maybe 10 seconds on Thinkorswim. So I use TradingView because it gives me a better reading of accurate price action, right? So the market open, this is 17, right? This was 16. So I know that each candle, right, is 15 minutes. So market open is right here. First 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, right? Yeah, this isn't correct because, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why it says. I don't know. just being honest, you know, I don't know why it has military time and it's like backwards, you know. But when you, let's say you open this chart on Monday morning, you'll see that it'll have the same hours, right? But it's moving because the market's open, you know. So first 15 minutes of the day, this is 17. So 9:45, we get this one green candle right here, high volume, and it tells me that this has more potential going higher, right? So with that being said, at 9:45 a.m. is when I'll either get into a trade or I'll just be patient. I won't get into anything. Now, that's 15 minutes. Now, if I'm in a trade, go back to here. What was the next time frame that I used? Just to see if you guys are paying attention. After 15 minutes? 4 hours. Okay. So let's switch our charts to 4 hours. Now, so if you want to, when you look at graphs, you see how it changes to be like squished? You can always adjust that. Down here, you see the dates. If you, yeah.
See this first graph.
Which one?
I see only two.
Yeah, that's volume.
Yeah,
Mhm.
something.
It's called the MACD, but I wouldn't focus on that. Yeah, it's more advanced class. So down here, when you see where you see the dates right here, if you click that and you drag it left or right, you can adjust how much time frame you see. See, like I'm squeezing it now, and now we're back in 2026, January, right? Until now. But if I want to see a shorter time frame, then I drag it out like this, and it expands the chart, right? Then you come over here to the price, and you either go up or down. Right now I'm going down because I want to make sure that over the span of a few months, I see everything that's happened. Why do I do that? Well, because when I'm making my watch list, I want to make sure that I see what's happened in the past. Remember what I said yesterday? History repeats itself. History repeats itself. So if you're looking at this time frame here, then it's not really going to give you much data. You're not going to see what your key points or entries or anything like that are because you're only focused on 1 month. Now, if you drag it out to 2 months, we'll go back to May. Make this lower. See here. Then that'll give you an idea of what this chart did.
Do you think it's too much is enough to see in the back?
It just depends. It just depends on what your style of trading is. Because one day can be enough. Just depends on your style, you know? So I personally not in these market conditions, but when the market conditions change, I do swing trades. And so swing trades is basically holding a stock for a longer period of time than just that same day, trading in that same day. Okay, so from this point, this perspective, this is the month of June starting right here to now July. So June and to now July. So within this month, I can see my main points of target for where the stock is going to move. So that's where we draw our support line. Our support line basically tells us where buyers are stepping in where buyers are stepping in to keep a stock at a certain price or value. Example. Let me know when you're ready. Amos. Good. Welcome. So what does that mean? That means and for example purposes, I'm going to look at the daily chart, okay? Oh, thank you. All right, so support line, where buyers are stepping in to keep a stock at a certain price value. So in this situation, we see that buyers step in at this level right here, this key level. You see how it doesn't go down past this level right here? That's 360. That's roughly 368. Okay? Buyers aren't allowing it to go under 368. That's when the buyers step in. Okay? Now, let's look at resistance. On here, resistance would be right here. Let's take this away so we can focus on this. Do you remember that IBM chart from yesterday? It's exactly doing the exact same thing. It's doing the exact same thing. I get excited when I do this because I'm like, oh my God, there's another chart that's getting ready, you know? Right here. I'll take this out. IBM did the exact same thing right here. right? So you tell me that does not look like that. It's doing the same thing. So now, second point.
Vocês estão entendendo, né? Que ele está mudando de ação. Tá com uma tela, depois foi para IBM.
Our resistance line is where
Can you keep saying? Is this the line on sellers?
sellers step in to not allow the price above a certain value. So I'll explain that. Okay? See here that at 460, right here, 465. I'll say 466-ish. I mean, it's only by 1 cent. We'll round up to make it easier. So at the resistance line where sellers step in, the price is not going to go, they're not allowing the price to go above this line right here. Sellers are stepping in, they're pushing the price down, not allowing it to go above this price. So what does that mean? That means that this area right here is called consolidation. When the price of a stock goes sideways, it's called consolidation. It's basically building a base for either the stock to go down or up. So what does that mean for you? You wait. You wait until the stock decides whether it's going to go lower or higher. Once it goes higher, then you know that it's a good entry point to trade it. If it goes lower, then you know that it's a good entry point to sell it, to buy puts, because you're betting that it's going to go down, right? So we'll look at IBM. What did it do? It was consolidating. Then it finally broke out here, and it went up almost $100 in 3 days. Right? $70 in 3 days after it broke that consolidation period. Now, you see how this line was drawn at the down here, but it went below it here? That's called a fake out. The market will try to do that. Okay? They'll try to make it seem like this is going to go a lot lower, and then the next day, bring it right back up, and then shoot it up. Why? Because when people see this, they're like, oh, we're going to go against it, and we're going to say that it's going to go lower. Well, if they're not paying attention, then the very next day, they're trapped. And that's what causes this kind of move, because you have everybody betting against it that it's going to go down, and it didn't. It faked them out. Anybody remember what happened to GameStop, the stock GameStop a few years ago? No? Let's look at the chart.
You had to wait 2 days to decide to get extended.
Look what GameStop did a few years ago. Everybody bet against the stock. It had one of the highest short interest rate or short interest. And this stock went from $4 all the way to $120 in less than a month. View? See the volume? When you see high volume and you're on the daily chart, then that means people are paying attention and people are buying it. And look what happened. It had a short squeeze. It caused all these rules and regulations about people influencing stocks. And they even made a movie out of it. If you look it up on Netflix, there's a movie. It's called The Big Short. Okay? These types of moves happen frequently. But it's the same thing. History repeats itself, right? It happened here, and then it happened again. 2 months later, it went from $10 all the way up to $86. That's 800%. A month later. After it made this huge drop all the way back down, a month later, it went up 800% again. Now it's probably nothing. It did it again here. 2024, where it went from $11 all the way up to $64. 600% in 1, 2, 3 days. But look, we zoom out. History repeats itself. Look, it happened here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Just look at these volume bars. See this high volume here, high volume here, high volume here, right? Those are things to pay attention to when you're looking at a stock as well. Now, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. All right. So, support, when buyers step in to not allow the stock to go down a certain price or under a certain price. Resistance, when sellers step in and not allow a price to go above a certain price. Okay. Whenever you do your watch list, this is exactly what you want to look for. These levels. Because it'll help you identify when you want to buy and when you want to sell. Okay? So, I've gone over the 1 minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, 4-hour time frame, daily time frame. Now let's go over the weekly time frame. Why I enjoy trading all these different time frames is because I get a better idea what the stock is doing over, this is over a year's time frame. This is what it looks like. Look how many weeks has gone by now that Dell has stayed in between 375 and 450. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's almost a whole month that has gone sideways. Okay? One of the patterns that I look for is right here. It's like a bull pennant. That's what it's called. It's basically when a stock goes sideways, and once it breaks out, it continues upward. Patterns repeat themselves. Okay? Does this look like this? Right here?
Como é o nome disso aí? Gold pênalti? Aconteceu isso aí, não foi, meu parceiro? Esse gold é quando ele sobe 3 vezes, desce 3 vezes.
Pode ser mais, né?
Entendi.
É somente quando você conhece que está fazendo isto, né? Aqui é grande e depois vai descendo. Essa parte é maior de este e vai seguir baixando.
Acontece isso mesmo aí.
Quase não. Te vou explicar também. So when a price so when you get above resistant lines, let's do here. When a stock goes above resistant line, let's say that it broke out here and you missed this trade this day. It broke out, right? In order for it to confirm that it's going to possibly continue to go up, it has to retest this resistant line, right? So it kind of did it here. It broke out, then came back, retested it. That's your confirmation that the stock can continue higher. So it broke out here, this resistance line. It came out right here, right? Dropped down, retested this area, and then it broke out. Let's say you missed this move from here to here. Wait until you get this confirmation. Then when you see it retesting this area right here, that's a good indication to buy again. Because you want confirmation. So let's look at what it did on Dell here.
Eles estão achando que só ganha quando sobe. Você ganha quando, se você apostar que vai subir, e você ganha que se apostar que vai descer. Por isso você precisa entender os gráficos, porque se você entender que os gráficos, a tendência que você vai cair, você aposta na queda, né?
So let's write down old support becomes
They're confused about it. Think they're just buying the stock only when it's going up. They need to understand that they have the opportunity to buy the contracts going down as well. I think they're not understanding that.
I just want to focus on the chart going up. Somente é quando o gráfico sube. Para não confundir.
Okay.
É? Você não pode combinar duas coisas que não são, it's better to just focus on one thing first. Make sure that you understand it completely, and then I'll show you the buying puts, the opposite. Because if you don't understand the first part, then you're not going to understand the puts, and you're just going to be all over. So old support becomes new resistance. E depois vamos ter que hacer outra clase, né? Old support becomes new resistance. What does this mean? Exactly what I just showed you here.
In that case, the delta is very high now, so we cannot use the old support.
I'll get there. Support on Dell right now is right here.
Yeah, we can use the old support.
Old support is all the way down here. So it's, I would say, irrelevant because right now it's building new support here. Okay? So in order for you to understand what old support and new resistant means, I'm going to use IBM because it shows it right here. Resistance, right? What sellers did not allow the chart to do was to go above this price, right? This line right here. Right here. So, once it broke out here, where is it, the arrow? All right. Trend line. Once it broke out here, this old resistance, this bar right here, became new support, meaning it came up, bounced off of this level, and then now became new support. See how when it bounced, when it did this run, it came all the way back down to here, this level. That became new support. So now this becomes our resistance, and this bar, our support bar, is right here. Okay? Because it bounced off of that same exact level, almost identical, right here and right here. So that became our new support. Once we identified that this was support and it bounced off here, then that's another entry opportunity for when it goes up. Okay? Now, you see that it failed this support, Now you have to look back. This is why I look at daily charts and weekly charts, because it gives me a longer period of time it gives me a longer time frame to see what it did back in the past. So now we're looking at 2025, year 2025. See how these levels that is bouncing off of, it's kind of the same. And that's a year ago. You see that? So this level right here, which is 2025, look where it bounced off this past week. And look what it did last time. It went from this level, 210, all the way up to 290. This move right here. And look, my I talked about the gap fill pattern yesterday, right? Look what happened here. And this is 2025. Okay? What is it? You see that gap? Look what happened. It filled it and it kept running. Okay? Let's look at a year later. Right here. The gap. Filled it. Filled it, right? Then it kept running. And look what just happened again. Patterns repeat themselves over time. Pardon? So now, no. No. It's just saying that that's my next price target, because I mean, it closed it here. This right here is a $20 move. If you time it, then a $20 move in options can be 300-400%. As you saw yesterday, it was 1,100%. I think that was on the $120,000 profit day. And that was over 3 days. And that move was from $250 to $330. $80 move. So an $80 move is 1,000% for that option or whatever you're trading that day, you know? So now 212 to close this gap at 280, that's only a $78 move. But it's just another opportunity. Why? Because if we look at over time, right now it's at good support. See how it bounced off here and here at the same time? That's only a $10 difference. There's never an exact number. Okay? The market usually focuses on whole numbers, not like $1.50. It's usually either $1 or $2. So for instance, see how it bounced off of 210? Exactly 210, not 210.15 or something like that, right? So you want to focus on whole numbers when you're trading. Because your price target, right, is at $290, close the gap. But to play it safe, you don't even need to wait until $290. If it starts to break out here, right, let's create our support and resistance line, which so if I'm looking at this chart, I'm looking to see if this 210 holds, because if it does, like it did here, like it did here, like it did back here, then it's a good entry. To very minimum, go to my next resistance line, $230, which right now that's a $28 difference. Okay. Tem perguntas? Bastante. Vai. Vamos.
E você tem que ir aos poucos. Isso.
Yeah.
Tem que ir aos poucos. Porque é por isso que a gente tem que investir de 100 a $500 para aprender. Para não passar mal.
So the gap means that it's going to increase, right?
It, so in these market conditions, as I was explaining yesterday, sometimes these patterns don't work. What worked for me 6 months ago isn't working for me now. It changes. So you want to identify that, right? Sometimes, for instance, this took May to June. This took a whole month just for it to make this move. Right now, we're on day 4. So it could take another whole month before it even retests this. Or it can test this and then go back down, test it and then go back down for a whole month straight. Who knows?
So how does the gap happen? What is the gap?
So this gap happened, and it seems like it was earnings. If you look down here, yeah, it was earnings. It had bad earnings.
Distribution.
Earnings is basically happens every quarter, every 4 months. That tells you how the company is doing as a whole, how their revenue is going, and what the future is looking like. Whether they are predicted to make a good quarter, the next earnings call, or something like that. So for me, that's something I would write down. Is very important. Don't trade earnings. If a stock is going to have earnings, make sure you're not trading it. Why? Because you can have a stock that has great earnings. Let's say they made $50 million last quarter, but they're projecting $30 million the next quarter. The stock isn't going to go up. It's going to go down, which it did here. Why don't I trade earnings? Because it's a gamble. You're throwing up a coin. I've seen it time after time. I've lost thousands of dollars of trading earnings, and I finally said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done flipping a coin because I saw a company have great earnings, and it still dropped like 10% overnight. I focus on when that earnings is going to happen. And if it's a good chart, then I trade it before it happens.
So the gap is more like a balance sheet for each company?
I wouldn't call it that. The gap is created when something happens within that company. There's news that influences the price action to happen overnight when the market is closed.
They open like in the gap.
Because it closed, as you can see here, before earnings, it was at $290 after 4 p.m. that day. Then at 9:30 a.m. the next morning, because you have after-hour action and you have pre-market action, whereas there's less volume, but the price can still go up or down.
Even though it's closed?
Yeah, it's closed because it's just regular market hours, you know. So it closed at this $289, and then it opened at 9:30 at $224. So between, yeah, because it had bad earnings. That's why I don't trade earnings, because I trade options, and you can't trade options past 4 o'clock. The market's closed. You're only allowed to trade options between 9:30 a.m. when the market opens and 4 p.m.
Who plays 5:30 to 9:30?
I mean, you can buy shares, regular shares and stuff like that.
19 something, 1930. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
So that's why I don't trade earnings, because earnings happen when the market's closed. So you can't predict whether it's going to go up or down. And you can't adjust while the market's closed, because there's only a time frame for options. It's only between 9:30 a.m. when the market opens and 4 p.m. when it closes. So in that time frame,
It's like a dark time.
this basically for options,
Can be like that. Dark time
for options
for options.
only, because you could still buy the stock flat out. There's people buying after hours and there's people buying pre-market. The difference is that options is something completely different from just regular stocks. Okay?
So earnings is regular stock?
Earnings is, yeah, stocks.
And the options?
It's the same. Earnings is for the company. The company has shares, right? And it's basically telling you how the balance sheet is and what the revenue was. Options, the difference between options and stocks is stocks regularly is just one share of a company, right? You flat out earn or own the stock of that company. Options is having a contract of that company of 100 shares.
And you choose that when you put that to the Robinhood account?
You have to apply for it. So one contract is 100 shares at a discounted rate. One share is just the normal price of how much that business or that company is worth, right? So when you open up your Robinhood account or whatever account, you'll have to first apply for option trading. And then it'll give you the opportunity to decide whether you want to buy calls or puts. I'm only focused on calls right now, just so you guys can get an understanding of what you're looking at. Okay? So calls is when the stock price goes up, and puts is when the stock price goes down. Okay? Let's dive deeper into what contracts are. So Elson, can you help me out? You have your Robinhood?
I do.
My phone's over there. I'll start to open it up right now. Just look at contracts of, you know what, just for IBM. Just for example purposes, I'm going to use IBM. Yeah, because while I'm with you guys, I'm actually going to create my watch list right now. So I don't have to worry about it when I get home. And I really like IBM. So when I create my watch list, I'm going to first write down the stock that I like. Then up here, you see this camera. You can copy the image right here. Then I'm going to open up here, paste it, and then I'm going to write my levels like I showed yesterday and my price targets. Okay, so for example, for IBM, I'm going to say can you look at IBM contracts? Okay, so here I will say IBM has gapped down due to earnings from $290 to $210, creating a gap I'm looking. All right. So here I said IBM has gapped down due to earnings because that's the reason why it dropped from $290 right here to $210 right here, right? I'm looking for this to get back above $225 for an entry. So when it gets back above $225, that's when I'm going to start buying options, calls. Because my prediction is that once it goes above 225, then my goal and price target, that's what PT stands for, if you want to write that down. PT stands for price target, is to fill this gap at $290. Now let's say it doesn't break it and it goes under $210. Well, yesterday I explained that we have to have risk management. We have to identify when something goes against our prediction, when we have to sell, right? So if IBM can't hold above $210, then this trade is invalid. Okay? So now let's look at, did it turn off? Oh, what do you have? USB-C?
This one here.
Não, quem mesmo? Já.
Vai ter que é o cabo que não tá bom.
Eu acho que deve ser esse cabo.
Esse cabo não tá bom.
Ele só se é o cabo.
Oh, espera aí. Espera aí.
Espera aí.
Tá.
Dando power.
Aí pronto.
Aí ele é bom.
Tá. Não.
Esse
No need. I got one of those. I took my wife. It's bring mine, but she forgot about it.
Tá bom, irmão. I got you. Ó,
Valeu, brother. Olha aqui, o cara
ó,
trouxe um.
caterpillar.
É.
Vai cagar rapidinho, tá bom? Okay, so now I created my watch list, right? I have my price target, I have my stop loss,
210.
I have my entry where I think it's gonna go. Okay, now I look at my platform wherever I'm trading, and I say, okay, I'm either gonna buy it here or I'm gonna buy it up here. If I were to buy it here, down here at the support line, then I'm gonna risk this exact line, right? So I'm risking $210. My first price target would be up here. That's at $225, $26. So what does that mean? I'm gonna risk $1 to make $14. So that's a 1 to 14 ratio. Okay? Because I know that if it goes under $210, then it's going to keep going down. So for the flip side, then this would be a good entry for puts when the stock goes down. Okay? If your support doesn't hold, then that means it's going to continue lower. And that's when you buy puts. That's when you say, okay, I'm going to sell the stock now. I predict that it's going to go down. So for this instance, let's say I'm going to buy it at $210. My price target is at $226. I'm going to look at my platform and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, okay, when this was ready to go higher, it took 1, 2, 3 days for it to go from $260 to $280. So that's a $20 jump in 3 days, right? So I'm going to say, I'm going to buy same day or same week contracts. And I'm going to say, I'm going to predict that this in 3 days or less, or sorry, if I do the same week contract, then I'm predicting that within 5 days, because Saturday and Sunday you can't trade, the market's closed. That within 5 days, it's going to make a $16 jump. So I'm going to look at 200 if they have it. That's this week.
Yeah.
200. Okay, so they don't have $226 contract. They only have $225 contracts. So I'm going to look at $225 contracts. Those contracts right now are worth, for the same week, are worth $310. So one contract of Dell
Tu tá vendo os contratos agora.
Não, bem,
Ah, entendi. Vocês estão entendendo?
Porque o preço da ação não é proporcional ao dividido por 100. Não.
Não.
Você vai buscar aqui, ele buscou
Um mínimo, né?
preço que ele vai pagar no contrato dele.
ele fez lá
eu busquei o preço que eu penso
Que é até 226.
225, my price target. Aonde eu penso que o stock vai subir, chegar dentro de uma semana. Você pode mirar um mês para frente, mas também vai custar mais. Porque
Tá entendendo? Porque ele é mais ou menos, né?
o contrato é sobre
Você consegue comprar um contrato de meses, não é isso?
O contrato ele tem expiração.
expiração.
Ok? Então, se você comprar um contrato para vencer em uma semana, você vai pagar Por exemplo, $350, um contrato. Se você for comprar um contrato para poder vencer em um mês, você vai pagar $600. Quanto mais longo...
Vamos mirar aqui, né?
Porque pode
Expiration.
crescer.
Oh, espera aí. It's three, what? 324 for this week?
É, 19,
O
so vai ser
contrato?
August 21st.
No, this week.
This week, right here. 224, 310.
310.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me explain this part real quick.
Deixa ele só explicar.
So, as you see the difference right here, one contract of 100 shares at a discounted rate, right? So, one contract of Dell that expires this week. Expiration 7/24. That expires this week, right? Is worth $3.10. But you times that by 100, it costs you $310 per contrato. Okay?
And then you can buy as many contracts as you want. Se você quer comprar só um contrato por $300, um contrato você pode comprar 10 contratos, 20 contratos.
So you see how does this part make sense right here? Now? Essa parte aqui?
Yeah, but when I go to buy, will I know what's contracted and what's term? What's not, like.
Yeah, you have to apply for options first. And then when you press the buy button, it'll give you an option. It'll give you buy or it'll give you buy contracts. Right.
Just one order.
It's easy to apply?
Contract means a time.
Right.
Okay.
Contract is basically a time, let's say you have a contract for a house, you have a 30-day,
Okay. Means a
you know.
time.
Mhm.
Time of something. Is it
Right. So instead of buying one share, this is why I buy options, is because I'm getting 100 shares for at a discounted rate. It's cheaper to buy one contract for the same week at $310 per contract. I'm getting 100 shares of that company.
When you go sell it, you're selling it not as a contract, you sell it each.
No, I'm selling it as a contract.
But you have
You buy contracts. So you can buy multiple contracts. You can buy 10 contracts, but now you own 1,000 shares.
Okay, and then when you sell it,
You sell it by contracts.
what's it worth then? Like.
Well, that depends. If it goes up, you're not gonna know how much it's worth.
You're also selling at discount when it goes up? That's my.
No, because if it goes up, then you're gonna make money. It's not gonna be at a discount because it's times 100 shares.
Okay, so if you own 100 shares and you bought $3 each, and then next week is.
It's not. Hold on, let me just to explain those little parts, right? So you're not buying it at $3.10. That's the price of the contract. You have to times that by 100 because it's it's for 100 shares, right? So you're paying $310 for one contract, which is 100 shares, instead of buying one share for $396. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So give me an example. So if I bought it, per share, the 100 shares cost $300. Then when I'm selling it, I'm still gonna sell for 300, like, it's hard to say.
No, I understand your question. I can answer.
I have an example.
Tipo assim, eu vou comprar com desconto, eu vou vender com desconto também, vou vender um combo, ou eu vou vender depois delas com preço real pra você.
Let me show you here. When bought these contracts, they're at $22.50 a contract,
Ele comprou por 22.
right? When I sold those contracts, they're at $34.18. So it's not at a discounted rate. It's
What's
that in percentage.
How about the share? What's happening?
Let me ask you a
The shares are different from options because you're only owning one. It's not times 100. You know?
Let me ask you a question. You must sell the whole contract?
Yes, you have to sell the whole contract. You can't sell 50 shares of that one contract. It has to be the whole contract.
But the option follow the share.
Hold on, I got two questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I understand you have to sell as a contract.
Right.
But I'm asking,
Mm-hmm.
when you sell as a contract,
Yeah.
you're still selling at not at the same discount price you got it, but
Right.
as a combo also that.
Let me answer. I know what she's asking.
Ok, vai.
Quando o mercado financeiro ele abre e o seu contrato, a sua empresa que você comprou, ele subiu 2%, 5%, a própria empresa vai mostrar o quanto o seu contrato está valendo.
A opção também sobe.
Então, quando você já viu que o seu contrato você comprou por 2,50. Tá? Deu 10h30 da manhã, valorizou 10% do seu contrato, sua empresa cresceu 10%, subiu. Automaticamente, você vai ver o seu ganho lá em quanto você pode vender. Eu vou estar falando que é $5 por contrato. Então você vai olhar para $5, você coloca para vender com $5. Se você quiser esperar para poder subir mais, você pode falar, não, está valendo $6, está valendo $7. Aí, conforme ela vai crescendo, ele vai ditando no seu contrato quanto está valendo o trabalho em cada contrato.
Ela é proporcional ao share, por exemplo. Se tiver 2% do share, só 2% da opção.
Não, você não está falando de share, está de contrato. Tá? O seu contrato, ele vai estar mostrando quanto está valendo por contrato. Você está comprando um contrato, então a porcentagem do seu contrato vai estar subindo.
Sim.
Você vai vender mais barato do que.
Não, você não vende mais barato. Você vende não percebe. Você está comprando, mas quando você vende, você vai vender o que o mercado está te dando. Eles vão ditar.
Você teve desconto na compra.
Entendeu?
Não, eu sei, mas qual que é a moral de comprar com desconto?
Você teve dinheiro? Não.
Deixa eu terminar de visualizar. Se eu vou te dar um exemplo. Se eu vou lá e compro. Como é que eu vou explicar isso para o pergunta?
Mas peraí,
Eu vou lá e compro um pacote de meia, tá? E esse pacote de meia, eu dei com desconto porque eu comprei um monte, comprei um pouco. Mas aí eu vou vender eles depois, se o mercado, se eu compro um pack que tá $1 cada meia, e aí eu comprei super barato, mas essa meia vale $10, quando eu vender esse contrato, ele vai valer $10, ou eu também tenho que vender ele um preço mais barato?
Depende
Não.
se a sua empresa está subindo ou está
Isso
descendo.
eu sei,
É.
mas aí que tá. Mesmo se ela subir, eu tô vendo o preço que tá aqui, ou eu ainda tô vendendo o preço barato?
Quando você compra o contrato, você vai ter a empresa que você comprou o contrato dentro da sua plataforma. Você vai clicar nela. Quando você clicar nela, vai te dar tudo que está acontecendo nela.
tá perdendo. Se você tá perdendo,
Você está ganhando, você acha que ela está subindo, quando está ganhando, no momento exato. Então você vai ver, por exemplo, você pagou $2,50. Você está mostrando, vai mostrando embaixo, está mostrando quando você comprou, vai estar escrito. E ela vai estar mostrando, de acordo com o volume dela que está subindo, ela vai estar mostrando para você que ela está valorizando $2, $3. É totalmente com você esperar 2 dias, um dia, ou vender no mesmo dia. Não?
Assim,
É a vantagem que você tem. Então, é o seguinte, se a sua empresa que você comprou, ela em 45 minutos, ela subiu 1%, aí você multiplica 1% vezes 100.
Sim, mas aí que tá. E aí eu paguei o preço de só que eu comprei 100. E aí eu vou vender 100. É isso, minha pergunta?
Exatamente, vende 100.
você vai vender 100.
Então, se eu comprei $300 e me
É.
deu
100 shares. 100 shares.
aí ela valeu, o preço normal dela seria $300. Se ela subiu para 390, esse meu 3 vai valer os 390?
Vai subir
Você
proporcional.
entendeu? Vai subir proporcional ao mercado?
Por cada contrato que você tem. So if you have 3 contracts, then you can, it'll be 300 shares, right? You have 3 separate contracts. Let's say each contract, the price goes up 10%, right? So you're making 10% off of 100 shares, one contract. You're making 10% off of 100 shares, another contract. And you're making 10% off of another contract, which is 100 shares.
It's only worth as a bulk.
Right. Because you can't sell individual shares. But you're selling 100 shares each contract when you sell it. So let's say it went up 10%, right? You sell one contract, you make $30 because it'll be 10% off of 100. And well, it'll be $10. We'll keep it at 100, right? When you sell your second contract, you're making another $10 because it went up 10%. Let's say it goes up 30%, right? And you have one more contract left because you already sold two out of the three that you bought initially, right?
So the real price is still under the contract. It's not going to like, I guess I'll need to see it because.
Right.
I'm very visual.
No, that's fine.
I'm-
So it
Budget diagnosis.
yeah, so it all depends on if the stock itself actually goes up, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it goes down, then your contract is going to be lower, and that's what you were questioning is like, am I going to have to sell it at a discounted price when I want to sell it?
No, I
Right.
know it's still gonna increase, it's still gonna gain the money if it increases.
If it increases, yeah.
But my question is, if I buy, let's do it per unit, let's not do it as what's the advantage of buying 100 and you're making, when you're gonna, say that
I think, eu acho que porque quando você compra options, você não tem que, se eu estiver errado, you cannot hold and you have a time frame to close, right? That's
Right.
why it's cheaper. Entendeu? Você não pode
You have a time frame.
Você tem um tempo para fechar em ações, não. Você compra e vende quando quiser lá longe. Mas quando você compra opções, você tem um tempo para entregar e você não pode voltar se você tiver volume. Volta de.
Não,
Por isso é mais barato. Por isso é mais barato. Agora, eu entendo, pelo que eu entendi, se as ações subirem, elas sobem proporcionalmente, correto?
Uhum.
Percentual. Ela é mais barata porque você não tem. Você vai comprar mais barato, mas você vai vender full price. Você não pode vender a hora que você quiser.
So if I buy this car, am I gonna sell full price again?
So you're confusing the stock price and you're confusing buying shares of a stock, then buying, se pagou, options. If you're buying options, you're basically paying less than what the stock price is for more shares. That's why I categorize it as a discounted price, right? The example that I showed here was Dell. Because Dell is at one share of Dell is at $396. But if I were to buy one contract, then I'm only paying $310
Yeah, for 100.
for 100 of them.
How much they worth? Like for a live example. No,
I
not
couldn't,
the future.
I couldn't, I mean, it all depends on the movement of the, I can't tell you how much in percentage wise you would sell those contracts.
I know that. What I'm saying is give an example of the past, so I know which exactly.
Okay.
You sold it. Yeah, what's the advantage of buying it? I know you
The-
get a discount, but then you
the-
sell it full price at the stock. So if I buy.
I don't buy it at the full price of the stock because I'm not buying the stock.
But then when you sell it. that's
Yeah.
the question.
When I'm selling it, I'm selling at the price of the option, the price of the contract.
Okay, so I guess in my mind, you do sell it cheaper than what it is right here too.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to, that price is not the same price as a contract. Does that make sense?
But the contract follows the stocks like portion.
Yeah, it has to. Because if the contract, if you own, whether you own stocks or a contract, if the price goes up, then both are going to go up. The price of the stock and the price of the contract. Right. It doesn't work like that. And if it goes down, then the price of the contract is going to go down. You know?
Deixa eu tentar explicar aqui, acho que eu entendi como é que
E a pessoa, mesmo no lucro proporcional, passando, comprando um contrato com desconto.
Sempre esse vai ser barato, porque se não dá
Eu vou dar um exemplo agora. Vamos querer um break? Say 20. Yeah, I've been going for 2 hours straight.
Não, então, para você,
Okay, let me show you. I'll show you visual right here. Okay?
Yeah, like an example for the past.
Yeah, I'll show you right now.
I know it's kind of impossible to tell me the future.
It's not. Well, the future, yes, but not the past. Right? So, let's say, hold on. Perfect example. Right here, I took 295. Hold on, let's open up IWM so you can follow me. This was a trade that I took on Friday. And I'm going to put this. Tá aberto agora porque essa las 8. So there's a thing called futures that open up every Sunday at 8 p.m. Então, tá aberto agora. É. Okay, here. So on Friday, right? On Friday at 9.
Não,